Hello, my name is Tyson, and I wrote my research paper on how humans affect visual pollution. So, visual pollution basically is the visible deterioration and decrease of aesthetic quality of a landscape. And usually, visual pollution tends to be overlooked because it usually doesn't have any immediate negative effects to the health of the people or environment, but is actually built up over time. So I broke down visual pollution into a couple factors, the first of which being advertisements. And advertisements are probably one of the most well-known forms of visual pollution because um, they can be very distracting. And as most people know, they are usually used to grow businesses by catching people's attention. And this can come in the forms of either being in billboards, signs, or website ads, or even videos. And so they can be really distracting for people, especially when driving, because, for example, when businesses put their ads on billboards on highways, this can be really distracting, especially when people are focusing on driving, making it harder for people to be able to drive safely. And one way, uh, one way that people have started combating this form of visual pollution is by basically banning billboards and such forms of advertisement. Like Sao Paulo, they passed the Clean City Law Act, which basically banned billboards completely. So the second form of visual pollution that I want to introduce is light pollution. And as the name suggests, it is pollution that has to do with the use of artificial light. And so uh, this can come in the forms of outdoor lighting or lighting inside buildings and such, or even virtual advertisement on big skyscrapers and such tall buildings. And so light pollution contributes to visual pollution because it can make it harder for people to enjoy stargazing, as it makes it harder for people to see the stars due to all the artificial light blocking the stars and making it too bright to see sometimes. And so an important fact is that 80% of the people in the world live in cities that have light pollution. So it just shows how widespread the problem of light pollution is. And so light pollution not only affects humans, but it also affects birds and other animals. So birds can be disoriented and bumped into buildings due to all the lights disorienting their direction. And other nocturnal animals that rely on the dark when they go hunting can have a harder time hunting for their food. And this can include how some bats, for example, have a hard time hunting because they tend to avoid light, while others tend to use the light to their advantage, making it harder for other animals such as insects to survive because some bats prey on insects. So other smaller factors of visual pollution that I wanted to include were inadequate sign control, which can overwhelm people that come along in the area and can make the area less enjoyable for them to walk around. And vandalism, which can make a neighborhood or area less approachable, and it can make it look sloppier. And so other forms of visual pollution, such as litter or smogs or fumes, can also contribute to this sloppiness that the area can show off. And poor landscaping, such as overhanging wires, poor street landscaping, or even poor building designs, can contribute to visual pollution because it can make the area look less visually appealing and make it look less aesthetic.